who boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
What we're living in, let me tell ya. And it's a world that man can eat at all. When things are big that should be small. Who can tell what magic spells we'll be doing for us? And I'm giving all my love to this world, only to be told I can't see, I can't breathe, no, not where we'll be. And nothing's gonna change the way we live, 'cause we can always take but never give. And now the things are changing for the worse. See, whoa, it's a crazy world we're living in, and I just can't see that half of us immersed in sin is all we have to give these futures made of virtual insanity now.
Welcome to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on that drive home. Hopefully there's not too much traffic, but if there is, hopefully that song right there got you in the mood, got you some energy going on. Virtual Insanity? Who is that by, Andy? Jamiroquai. Wow, that's a throwback. That's a nice one. I love that energy. And listen, if you're not on the road, maybe you're at home, maybe you are enjoying us right now. Either way, I'm glad to have you here with us. You're more than welcome to call the show at any point in time. If you want to say, what's up, Robin? If you want to disagree, if you would like to give your opinion about something, all of that is more than welcome. You can do that by calling 1-800-920-1580, or you can join us right now in our YouTube chat at KBLA 1580. And make sure you are following us on all of our social media platforms, all at KBLA 1580. And if you're not already, I don't know why you aren't, but if you aren't, if you are not yet, you should be following me too at Robin Ayers. It's just a good idea. Come and say hello. We have another great show. There are some things going on that I do want to update you about. I don't know if you are a Nicki Minaj fan. I am, which is funny. I'm a pretty big Nicki Minaj fan. Can I say that and not have most of her albums? Andy, can I say I'm a huge Nicki Minaj fan but not have most of her albums? I can't. Okay, I've had one. But I like her music, okay? So maybe I'm not a huge Nicki Minaj fan, but I can tell you millions of people are. She sent Twitter in a frenzy. It was lit up because she finally announced after 5 years that her album release will be 10/20/23. So for those of you who may be loving on some Nicki Minaj, you can look forward to that in October. That Libra month. Hey, what's up to you October Libras? Also, that's me and Andy, by the way. Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh my goodness, he actually settles a federal lawsuit accusing him of rape. And this is just before the jury selection was about to begin for his trial. It was not going to be a good look, and I believe this is why he decided to settle that decision with his lawyers. The judge was going to allow for 3 other women who have also accused Gooding of sexual abuse. They were set to testify as well. So he has gone and settled that. We'll keep you updated about it. There's some different things going on there. We'll definitely keep you updated. But let's go ahead and get to the Raw Report and what we're talking about, Andy.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Y'all know Wendy Williams. I love Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, who is the talk show and radio host guru. She has been having some challenges, health challenges, all of those things. And we hear a few things from her circle or some close sources. But now we're hearing from her son, her actual only son, 22-year-old Kevin Hunter Jr., he's finally speaking out in an interview, giving us his thoughts on his mother's condition. Now, I believe this because, again, we hear so much about celebrities and what's going on behind closed doors and the sources say, but it's rare that you get family members or people who are really, really in the know to go ahead and give a quote, give direct information on what's going on. So we'll talk about what he thinks on her current condition and what's going on. We'll find out more about that. Yesterday, we talked about Tyler James Williams. You all know him from Everybody Hates Chris and Abbott Elementary. We talked about him telling everybody, listen, I'm not gay, right? Because people have been accusing him and assuming for years and years and years about his sexuality. He finally comes out and says he's not gay. But we're going to talk about, again, we spoke about this yesterday, but now there's another fact. His brother has spoken out, his gay brother, in fact. Two younger brothers who are gay praising him. We're going to talk about what they say and really go into it a little bit more where we weren't able to touch on it as much yesterday about some of the dangers that are hidden or maybe outright about what that is when we try to play the guessing game on other people's sexuality. We are also going to talk about Trey Songz. Speaking of assault allegations, he is facing a decade-old sexual assault allegation. This situation is crazy because Trey Songz, we just got a lot to talk about when it comes to Trey Songz. But I will tell you that he is facing a $10 million assault allegation, a lawsuit. This stems back quite a while. There is video footage on it and all of these things. We're going to break it down, talk to our entertainment contributor who is on the line with us today. Woo, we got so much to talk about. I want you guys to keep it right there. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at The Raw Report. Keep it locked.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Los Angeles Public Library proudly presents the June Jubilee inaugural event commemorating Juneteenth. Join us on June 10th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Central Library as we celebrate the rich Black culture in our city. This free event will include a special opening celebration featuring African drums procession and a libation ceremony at 9 a.m. along with speakers, workshops, live entertainment, and more for the whole family. Parking is only $1 with a validation. Learn more at lapl.org/Jubilee. That is lapl.org/JUBILEE.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Can I help? Who's next?
Tom's part-time barista is now a full-time actor.
Oh, you didn't hear. He got the part on Broadway. Yeah, great for him, bad for our finicky cold brew tap.
Now he needs a star understudy to fill his open role.
And he made the best grande triple shot with oat milk caramel.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, we're Tasha,
Kill, and Euro from KBLA's Lyric Lounge.
Check us out every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Tune in as we break down some of your favorite song lyrics from all genres of music.
From gospel to pop and hip-hop to rock and everything else in between, we cover it all.
So come hang out in the Lyric Lounge with Tasha,
Teal,
and Euro every Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. and every every Sunday at 6 p.m.
Let the music play.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Can I just let you guys know how much I appreciate Andy? Andy is just the best. Stop it. Andy really is the best. I'm telling you, anybody here who works here, who comes in this building, everybody says the same thing about Andy. So I got to say this publicly, because anytime anybody's feeling down, I'll talk about me. If I'm feeling down or just out of it, he always either knows how to maneuver, how to figure it out, how to work around you and uplift your spirits or whatever. So I greatly appreciate you, Andy. And I thank you guys for always acknowledging him. I see y'all in the chats always bigging him up and always giving him his props. So we appreciate you. All of us do, Andy. Thank you so much. Well, let's go ahead and talk to our entertainment contributor, who I also appreciate. This is Jill Monroe. Hello to you, Jill.
Hi, Robin. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you as well. Glad to have you with us today, of course. There's always it's interesting the way that the entertainment industry goes. You're either going to have like a super busy day because so many things are hitting the headlines and so many things that you can really pull apart. And then there are times where not much is going on. And so, but I've been grateful to always have things to talk about and things to really have. And you guys, the contributors, often come in and enlighten us with what you know and your insight. So I greatly appreciate you as well, Jill.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. I do want to get to this story. This is really a sad one. I feel like we're kind of watching. I don't want to say the demise, because I don't speak negatively over anyone like that, but we're watching something happen to Wendy Williams right in front of our faces. So when her son, 22-year-old Kevin Hunter Jr., her only child, her only son, when he speaks out, I'm almost wondering, is this a cry for help, or is this just, he's never spoken about his mom in a public manner like this before, so why now? He just did an interview with the U.S. Sun, and he says different things. He's alluding to her not being in her right mind. He said, this is a quote, "I know there are all sorts of things happening that I know in her right mind she would never agree to." He also talks about her alcohol abuse when he says, "I know the rate that she uses alcohol isn't like a normal person." And he said that they've spoken about that before. He's also saying that she's being taken advantage of. So I'm just wondering, is this a cry for help? Because what more can he do? He said he's spoken about it privately with her. She used to live with him. So I don't know what this is about, but this is really a sad situation. Jill, do you agree with me that we're sort of watching someone who a lot of people idolize, maybe the demise of, hopefully she gets help, by the way. I have faith in everybody, but we're sort of watching something very interesting happen here.
Whatever is going on with Wendy health-wise is incredibly sad. I mean, her son obviously finally speaking out is alarming, because it would seem to indicate that he's at his wit's end and there's nothing more that he can do. The only question that I have, because I do believe that Wendy is in a vulnerable position where lots of people are kind of taking advantage of her.
Yes.
But there also was an instance where he allegedly was not paying that mortgage or rent in his Florida apartment, townhouse, whatever the situation was, and he was running out of money, and he was upset because he couldn't get the money he needed or felt that he was entitled to from Wendy's handlers. So there's that aspect also. It's just really sad that you don't know who is really and truly in her corner at this moment. Of course, you expect her son to be, and you hope that those are his intentions, that they're pure, and it doesn't have to do with any of the other rumors or things that are happening in the background. But Wendy's an icon as far as talk shows and radio, so it's sad.
Yes, it is sad. And from what I understand, there was a $2 million house that he had, a penthouse that he had over in Miami, in Florida, as you mentioned. and that she was paying the note on it. According to Kevin Jr., the house pretty much went into foreclosure after someone seized, I don't know exactly who this person was in her camp, and ultimately the bank seized her finances and gained guardianship over her money. So that's why she was no longer able to pay. I don't know what their situation is. Mother, son, she's rich, at one point had tons of money, enough to pay for this apartment that he was living in. I don't know if he was taking advantage of her or he was just being a son and saying, hey, my mother has money. I don't know the behind the scenes of that, but it does seem like a cry for help. It does seem alarming that he would go and open up to this extent, because he's saying some things that I would still, no matter what, I would still consider private. And I would try to protect my family, my loved one, whoever I'm speaking on, I would try to protect them as much as possible. So the fact that he is really giving us all of his thoughts, it speaks volumes on maybe what he feels like his options are. Maybe he feels like he's out of options and he's exhausted all of them. I'm not sure, but truly sad. We've heard from Wendy Williams' brother several times. He's had several interviews and he's spoken. He's gone on live stream. So it does seem as though many people who are close to her or at one point were close to her have spoken up to maybe try to alarm everybody on what's going on with Wendy Williams, maybe in hopes to get her some help. But from what I understand, she has been in and out of the hospital, in and out of some rehabs, and she's openly admitted some of this. But I really hope the best for her. And this by no means that she should go after a career in radio or podcasting, because I know she was trying to do that for a while. I think she should really just sit back, get help, the help that she needs, both physically and mentally, and then just recover and let her name be great and let her name go down in the records as it's been so far. You agree with that?
I do, but I wonder if one of the reasons why, besides maybe being exploited, because I know Kevin Jr. indicated that he felt like the jeweler, which is her manager and a publicist, are pushing her to work because of the financial aspect. But also it might be fulfilling for Wendy. She's been at this for a very long time, and if she's not working, maybe she feels a little empty. Mm-hmm. It's a difficult situation to examine. I definitely want her to get her health together and whatever else is going on, but it might be a little empty when she's not. So
sure,
that might be her way through it as well.
I agree with that. Wendy Williams, I mean, let's count down the people. There are so many people at some point. We all can probably relate to the fact of feeling like your job has become your identity. You are that person. And so when that no longer exists, you feel like a part of yourself has gone away, has died, and it's not being fulfilled any longer. So I would totally understand that. But there was a recent post, an article about how she missed a speaking engagement, a very lucrative speaking engagement. And I think that would be completely up her alley. Going around speaking to different colleges or something like that, that might be something nice for her. I just think that she's chasing, at one point, I don't know if she still is, but at one point you could see it. She was still chasing that same fame, that same notoriety that she once had. And I do believe it's okay to pivot for your own sake, for your own health and mental health, just to do something slightly different, still continue to earn money and feel like you have purpose when you get up in the world. But she doesn't necessarily have to chase after that one thing that she was doing before. So that's sort of where I stand with it. But I completely agree with you that that may be a missing part for her.
Fame is a drug.
It is. It is. That, they say that. They really say that's why you see goodness, that's a whole topic in and of itself, though, Jill. Like when people are still chasing that thing that they once had that put them in this limelight or gave them all this money, they've earned a certain notoriety. People will chase that to the ends of the earth and do anything to maintain it, and it is a sad, sad thing. So hopefully Wendy Williams is getting the help that she needs, but hopefully we'll hear more. We'll hear some good news in the future. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Yes, Anouk Carswell, she says, I I wish the best. I hope she gets through it. I do too. I completely agree with you on that. So, Jill, I don't know if you heard Tyler James Williams came out and said, listen, I am not gay, because we know for a very long time. I mean, the guy, he would go on a talk show and sit down, and all of the comments are like, oh, yeah, look at the way he crossed his arms. He crossed his legs. I mean, people were literally trying their best to catch him slipping, as he would say. And he says that it's a very dangerous thing to try to point out the hidden characteristics, the hidden traits of someone who's closeted, who would be fearful in coming out. There's a whole queer community who's living in secrecy, and it's dangerous for us to play that game. So he spoke about that. I'm glad that he put out an entire statement. As you all know, it's Pride Month, so I'm sure this is the reason he's coming out with it now. But his younger brother, Tyrell, who is also gay, two younger brothers who are also gay, he's now speaking up and praising his brother, and he's praising him for his allyship. He says that his brother, he's completely deconstructed his views on masculinity, and he made sure to build spaces for us to be comfortable and seen until we were ready to tell our friends and family. He also said that they all rebuilt their definition of manhood together, brick by brick, and that it was not easy, but thankfully they all had each other. So that's the good news about having a brother or any family member, a loved one, who truly accepts you for who you are. But Jill, let's actually talk about that, because you're in this industry as well. You see it up close and personal sometimes, where the public eye, we're looking at people trying to pick apart all their mannerisms to try to identify someone's sexuality, and what could be the dangers in doing something like that.
I mean, obviously the dangers are you're making assumptions based on superficial things, you know? You never know where that came from or why, you know, a mannerism. You might be assuming one thing and you're completely off. And also, I mean, obviously it's something that should be respected. It should be at someone's own time to reveal that information, because honestly, though people are curious and you get the curiosity and those type of things, it's crushes or whatever, when it comes down to it, it really only concerns that person and whoever they're involved with.
Exactly.
We have reached a point where we feel very about public figures and how they conduct their life. And part of it is because, you know, not Tyler per se, but in general, celebrities market their lifestyle to us to get us to purchase products and to buy into things. So in turn, some fans feel entitled to know everything. And it's not fair. It's not fair in regular life. It's just, that's information that you should just wait to be revealed. It's no reason why you need to push or try and unearth it, because what is it really going to do for you?
Absolutely. I remember watching shows, actual series, sitcoms, where the storyline of that particular episode is someone coming out, and in particular, a man coming out. And for some reason, everyone has this tendency to think, especially when it comes to men, people don't trip about women this way, but when it comes to men, all of a sudden, if they find out that you're gay, they're like, oh, I'm uncomfortable to be around you because you're looking at me that way. Or they automatically, and it's just so weird because I'm thinking of a specific TV show. I think it was The Game. There was the TV show called The Game, which I loved, by the way. And there was it was all about a football team. And there was a member of the football team who came out as gay, and everybody now all of a sudden is having a problem with playing on the same team as someone who's gay. And far too often I find that this is really the case in real life. People all of a sudden change. They look at you differently. They sort of pinpoint the work that you do a little bit differently if they find out that's the case. But I do find that this is unfortunately geared towards men more so than women. Do you agree with that, or what is your perspective when it comes to male and female homosexuality?
I mean, 100%. You've seen episodes like that on Moesha, Living Single, it being alluded to. I think, too, you have to think about the fact that homosexuality being accepted as part of the culture is somewhat new.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that those shows at the time were reflective of the conversations and things that were happening in homes, and it was revolutionary even for them to kind of open up the topic to show the embarrassing part, for them to come through with the message that, hey, we're all really the same. But they had to depict it accurately. And I feel like this is something that came up a lot in the 90s, and we had a lot of books then. A lot of authors became popular writing books about Down Low Brothers. I mean, there's a book called B-Boy Blues. There's a couple other ones that were written. Eric Jerome Dickey is an author that frequently wrote about that line between being a black male closeted man and the relationships and things of that nature. So I think it's something that was very, for the black community, something very 90s, very much a topic where, you know, we had the concept of women feeling betrayed. And I think that stems, that is where a lot of this stems from, and sort of that attitude overall that were about homosexuality. But then these topics extended to pop culture. And, yeah, we've evolved. We continue to evolve. That's
the good news. That's important, and it's really good news to know that we are now becoming a lot more accepting of everybody, really, just of everybody. Everybody can, we have a long way to go. Let's not, I want to clarify that. We do have a long way to go, but it has become a lot more accepted in the culture, and that's the good news. To Terry Tari, I've never seen stories about Diddy or Usher or anybody else. I haven't seen any stories about that. But yeah, I definitely want to go ahead and talk about Trey Songz on the other side, because we will talk about sexual assault and allegations. And this is a pretty serious topic right here. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about with Cuba Gooding Jr., who just settled a case for the same thing. We're going to talk about that and hopefully talk about maybe some solutions and what we can do as a whole, as a society. We'll talk about that after our news, traffic, and sports. You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lil Rel Howery. Right now, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. That's right, the Raw Report.
More of the Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. There is a settlement in the civil rape lawsuit against actor Cuba Gooding Jr. The 55-year-old African-American Gooding Jr. was charged with sexually assaulting a woman 10 years ago in a Greenwich Village hotel room. He's maintained the encounter was consensual. The field of Republican hopefuls for the 2024 presidential race is about to get bigger. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and former Vice President Mike Pence are expected to formally launch their White House bids this week. Former Princeton professor and progressive black activist Dr. Cornel West has announced he's running on a third-party ticket. Conservative talk show host Larry Elder, who's black, announced his campaign over the weekend. And the White House says explosions that destroyed a critical dam in Russian-controlled southern Ukraine is causing major flooding and widespread evacuations. I'm Julius White on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
A little bit of good news in Anaheim Hills on the 91 eastbound after Ware Canyon. That Sigillard has cleared. They had 4 lanes blocked. Everything is over on the right shoulder now, but the damage is done. That 91 eastbound is a slow ride all the way from the 57. And on the 91 east right at the 57, clearing a disabled vehicle from the lanes there. And in Palmdale, 14 North Bennett Avenue. And Sigillard still has only the left lane open.
Wendy's is open until midnight or later, which means all your favorite menu items are up later too. The Baconator still tastes just as juicy and bacony at night. So listen to that craving and turn in for the night at a Wendy's drive-thru. Hours may vary at participating U.S. Wendy's.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
There are folks in Denver who have extra appreciation today for Rams owner Stan Kroenke. Kroenke is the Nuggets' majority owner. He bought the Nuggets in 1999 for $450 million. A key part of the purchase was Kroenke agreeing not to move the team. Kroenke kept his word and kept the Nuggets in Denver. He now has a team on the doorstep of winning his first NBA championship. According to Forbes magazine, the Nuggets are now worth $1.93 billion, a pretty good investment in a team that was on the verge of leaving Denver before Kroenke stepped in. Congratulations to a brother named Kerrick Jackson. Jackson was hired as the head baseball coach at the University of Missouri. The St. Louis native is the first black baseball coach in the history of the Southeastern Conference. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Maisha Cairo here for KBLA Talk 1580. We're live in Los Angeles at JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. And I'm speaking to some of the attendees today to see why it was so important for them to be here.
Yeah, this is Lathan and Tyler. Main reason that's very important for me to be here is just to leave a legacy for my kids. Black wealth, generational wealth is what we need in our community, you know. Oh, Chase, someone has to take the lead. They're showing, big business like Chase cares, and they're putting their money where their mouth is at. So it's good to see, big institution like Chase, giving a lifting hand, to the community, and you got to respect that. It makes me want to bank with Chase, and give them another look. If I go to another institution, I actually see what Chase is doing for the community.
That's right, Chase is doing their part to help advance Black wealth. For more money support, tune in every day from 12 to 2 to KBLA Talk 1580's Midday Money Chain, right here.
Join the city of Santa Monica and the Juneteenth Celebration Committee, Inc. for an afternoon of music, unique food, craft vendors, and local resources to celebrate the 31st annual Juneteenth on Saturday, June 17th from 1 to 7 p.m. in Virginia Avenue Park under the theme of Coming Together in Appreciation, Reconciliation, and Commemoration. This year, the main stage will feature a stellar lineup. Local blues artist Sonny Green, who will kick off the event with a lively set of classic soul and blues. Chaz Ross will lead his traditional participatory drumming performance. Victory Boyd will perform original, classic soul, jazz, folk, and gospel music. Arise Roots, a prominent American roots reggae band, and Climax, featuring Cheryl Cooley, will perform their classic songs. Join the city of Santa Monica in the Juneteenth Celebration Committee, Inc. to celebrate the 31st annual Juneteenth on Saturday, June 17th from 1 to 7 p.m. in Virginia Avenue Park in Santa Monica.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like Biz Camp, Construction Career Academy, Bob Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talents, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are just now coming in, welcome. We just got done talking about Wendy Williams' son, Kevin Hunter Jr., who spoke about her, and he sounds as though he is really sounding the alarm and letting everybody know what he thinks about his mom, that she could possibly be in some trouble after her drinking. He says that she drinks not like a normal person, and that he's alluding to the fact that she may not necessarily be in her right mind. We are sending our prayers, really our prayers and all of nothing but love to Wendy Williams. And we also talked about Tyler James Williams denouncing being gay. He was never gay. So he says that he's not gay, and his younger brother speaks up, giving him praise, who actually is gay. We were talking about some of the dangers of trying to assume what someone's sexuality is. And now let's get Jill Monroe back in here to talk about this Trey Songz situation. I can't tell you the number of times that Trey Songz has been in the headlines for sexual assault allegations or attempted sexual assault allegations. It goes back to decades now. In particular, there is one of complete prominence, Keke Palmer, who said in 2017 that he, speaking of Trey Songz, he used sexual intimidation to get her to be in a music video. And when she spoke out about it, no one really believed her as far as she thought. She says no one believed her, but then other women also started speaking up about situations and allegations regarding Trey Songz. And then people now want to refer back to Keke Palmer saying, hey, remember when she said it? She said the same thing. Now, there is a woman who in 2013 says that, well, she didn't say this. This is a video out there. So if you're curious about what I'm talking about, feel free to Google it. She's trying to take a picture with Trey Songz, and there's a video that captures she's in a bikini, and he pulls down her bikini and flashes her breast. He grabs and flashes her breast, and this is at a pool party. Again, this is in 2013. She did try to settle with him last year in a lawsuit for $5 million. To no avail, but she's trying now for $10 million. How many times, I don't know whether he is guilty or if he's innocent, but I know that he keeps getting his name cleared, Jill. And how many times do we need to continue to hear this about someone before we either believe it, before someone's able to truly prove it, such as this woman did on video? How many times do we need to hear that? Or just because he's a celebrity with resources, do we continue to let this go?
I mean, the thing that makes it difficult is that because some of the situations were in those gray things where the woman may have been okay with one aspect, but it went someplace where she didn't even imagine it. You saw that with one of the Gonzalez twins. They were the basketball playing twins that lived in Vegas. She attempted to file suit against him. I'm not sure where that lays out at. I know the woman that you are mentioning there, the lawyer, represents a couple of other people that have made accusations against Trey. At this point, I think that it is a matter of where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Now, what happens moving forward? It's kind of difficult because everyone has a right to work or pursue, I guess, their craft. And there's nothing legally bound. That's when you have to make those moral decisions. And that's what it's going to come down to. I haven't really seen a lot of things involving Trey Songz as of late. He's been dealing with these allegations and sort of dodging them like raindrops for the past couple of years, like you've mentioned. And I don't think he has any music out. Interestingly enough, included in this woman's suit is Atlantic Records, Kevin Liles, because she feels like they should have had more control over him. And I don't know if that's the case, because how do you control a grown individual? I mean, so it's really hard to say, but I would imagine just kind of looking at the landscape, it doesn't seem like, if not overtly, the same amount of people are dealing with Trey Songz on that level at this time.
Sure. And similarly, Cuba Gooding Jr., we were talking about earlier as an update, he just settled his lawsuit accusing a woman who accused him of rape. And there were more than 30 women that have come out now allegedly saying that he did allegedly assault them some way or attempted to assault them. And these are not, we're just talking about two people in the Raw Report today. We can go down an entire list of people, an entire list of really successful, powerful men, specifically men, who women have accused of some sort of sexual assault. And they get out of it. They have, I don't know what that is. I don't know what the behind the scenes looks like when it comes to this type of thing. And I can't imagine how many more women there are who are victims or survivors who won't even come forward because they're like, there's no use. I'm not going to win. They have this big conglomerate of a company behind them, of an organization, all kinds of team members, managers, whomever, who are just as powerful. And they have them, and they have all this money and resources. I can't win. So it's really sad. This truly triggers me. It really does, because we continuously hear about it. We've seen so many different women come out on Trey Songz. And you're right. He has been ducking and dodging lately. We've not heard anything from him, any music, because his reputation is really starting to be tarnished. It has been for quite some time, but the more we hear about these stories and these allegations, the more it starts to pile on top of him and his reputation. So if these women can't win in court, hopefully they're winning by way of him stopping, his music career. Hopefully so. And I'm not, if he is innocent, I don't know, because here's the thing. So many we've had this conversation time and time again, where a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, women just try to come after these successful men to try to get money. They will try to do anything that they can to kind of get a buck." And if that's the case, why not all successful men? Why have not every single successful men? Why haven't they been in the headlines? Why haven't they been accused publicly? If that's the case, we hear about certain men. And to Terry Tari, I want to tell you that I actually did try to look up some information on Diddy. Let's go ahead and put their names out. I didn't see anything about minors, underage people allegations, but I did see back in 2011 where a woman sued him for date rape. Did not win, but she sued him for date rape. This goes on and on and on, Jill, but the stories get buried and buried and buried further and further, the more, I believe, prominent a man or woman, but mostly these men, but the more that they are, the more powerful they are. And I just don't know what the solutions are, what they could be. Any suggestions that you have?
I don't, because I think that it is a delicate situation, because a lot of these things involve entertainment and industry that a lot of people want to be in. And that may cause them to act in a way at times differently than they would with a regular individual. You also are considering that a lot of these individuals, men, the people, are used to people wanting to do whatever, or, be down for whatever to be in their presence, and not in a necessarily I'm being taken advantage of situation. So sometimes it kind of warps their mind to think that everyone is in that mode when they aren't.
Yeah.
So I think that you have to be very clear with your intention. And it's a different time now. It's a very different time. Certain mannerisms, certain things that may have been carefree or looked at as jokingly, you can't do that anymore, and you have to be respectful of that. And so it may seem like it's taking the fun out of it for some people, or it's not that serious, but I think you really do have to be overly cautious of how you interact with individuals on both sides,
Yeah.
Just because people misconstrue actions all the time. People assume that their status gives them more leeway than they actually do. So, it's just a learning curve that everyone has to get up to speed on.
You hit the nail on the head. Everyone on both sides, we have to be more careful and conscious of the moves that we make. A lot of women, I'm specifically saying women because we're talking about men right now who these allegations are towards, but a lot of women will put themselves in compromising positions. And I'm by no means saying that should allow a man to take advantage of you, especially when you say no, period. That's a hard stop. But I'm saying in terms of us being responsible and accountable for the moves that we make, in particular in Cuba Gooding Jr.'s case, this particular woman did go back to the hotel with him. He said, I need to change my clothes. So while they were up there, he allegedly did what he did. But certain things like that. We just have to be cautious about how we move. I understand that things, unfortunately, will happen anyway. Even if you are as careful as it gets, unfortunately, that's the situation that we're in. But I do want to mention, forensic accountant said, I was accused by a woman whose advances I rejected, nearly ruined my reputation 30-something years ago. You do have situations like this where, unfortunately, it works on both sides. You will have people who actually do things. You will have people who will accuse you of different things. It's just it's a sad, but it's a very touchy subject and situation. I'm just saying, for women specifically, be careful. Men too. I don't want to leave you out of here, but women, I really want you to be careful and how you move in situations like this. But when it comes to Trey Songz, something has got to give here. I've heard too many stories. I've seen too many things. And prayerfully that this is not the case. And hopefully somehow he will get either called out or something will happen to where he doesn't do this again, allegedly. I'll just say that. I'll leave it right there. Any lasting thoughts on any of this, Jill?
You hit the nail on the head. We just have to realize it's a different time. Move smarter. If you were unsure, communication, speak. Yeah. I didn't like that. That was uncomfortable for me. Is this comfortable for you? Are you okay with this? It may seem like it's kind of weird, kind of lame, but I feel that that's where we're at. And, unfortunately, you have to make things plain and clear.
Definitely. Trill by Nature says, Cuba just settled. Now it's Trey's turn. Come on now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But if that does happen, you will hear about it on the Raw Report. Jill Monroe, as always, I truly appreciate you calling into the Raw Report. Thank you so much. And let everybody know where they can find you online.
You can find me everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere, at Stiletto Jill. Hit me up, say hi. I love talking to the Raw Report friends, so, make that happen.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your night. We will talk with you next week.
Thanks, Robin. Have a good one.
You as well. When we come forward, we've got your Who's Got Next. You guys are still sending me some great people. I thank you for that. Y'all sending me some fire. So we'll get to that and what you just cannot miss on the other side. You're listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on The Raw Report.
You're inside The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Director of Programming and General Manager Asantewaa Olatunji named Los Angeles Cultural Affairs Commissioner by Mayor Karen Bass. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. She's an attorney and an arts advocate excited about serving in the development of the cultural landscape in LA County. Olatunji is the co-founder of the Pan-African Film Festival, also known as PAF. She began her career as an entertainment lawyer on staff with Paramount Pictures. Her legal career was diverse, and she was on general counsel for the LA Black Employees Association, amongst many other affiliations. Her new role with the city will make her a member of the advisory board responsible for the review and approval of all architecture and artwork on or over city property. Congratulations. I'm Maisha Cairo, and this is KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know that all City of LA renters have rights? Check out these 3 facts. Residential tenants can't be evicted without reason or just cause. Eviction protection still exists for unpaid COVID-19 rental debt due before March 31st, 2023. And you have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice. 5 days. Many Angelenos may be at risk of losing their home, and that's why we want you to know your rights. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
If you're a business owner or lead a nonprofit that's between 26 and 49 employees, please listen. Lendistry is proud to announce a new program whereby small businesses and nonprofits may qualify for reimbursement of COVID sick leave expenses incurred in 2021 or 2022. This program is administered by the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. Eligibility criteria apply and funding is limited. For more information, visit covidpaidsick.com. If you're a business owner or lead a nonprofit that has between 26 and 49 employees, please listen. Lendistry is proud to announce a new program whereby small businesses and nonprofits may qualify for reimbursement of COVID sick leave expenses incurred in 2021 or 2022. This program is administered by the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. For more information, visit covidpaidsick.com.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
And when I left the Evan-On, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan.
Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Robin Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, you know you want to hear who's got next. This is who I think's got next. He's actually got a song out right now with Chris Brown. His name is Friday with 2 Y's, and the song is called Empty Stomach. Let's go.
I was chasing my dreams on an empty stomach. I was standing in VIP while my rent was due. I was sneaking backstage with the stars while my was growling. I need nothing all day, just some bread and jelly. I got 100 beats, 100 songs in my pocket. They ain't even hear my they say young and keep grinding. Ain't tryna hit this grinding, I'm starving. Somebody show me where the money at, I'ma walk in. Just know my mama and them, they counted on me, you know. Everybody back home keeps saying that they proud of me. How? Only if they knew that I ain't have a dime on me. Have you ever been so f***ed up, you just get down on your knees, I was selling my beats for like 50. I was just trying to eat through, you feel me? Swear to God it was hurting my soul. Put my heart in it like I'm cold. I was cooking all night on the stove, just so I wouldn't sleep on that floor. No, I couldn't give up. I know my God was just testing me. Mama, she called me, she say I'm the one. I know she just said a few prayers for me. I know this it was meant for me. I'm on the come up, I'm trying to get to it. They bringing my name in this industry, cause they starting to notice me. I was chasing my dreams on an empty stomach. I was standing in VIP while my rent was due. I was sneaking backstage with the stars while my was growling. I need nothing all day, just some bread and jelly. I got 100 beats, 100 songs in my pocket. They ain't even hear my they say young and keep grinding. I ain't tryna hit this grinding, I'm starving. Somebody show me where the money at, I'ma walk in. Just know my mama and them, they counted on me, you know. Everybody back home keeps saying that they proud of me. How? Only if they knew that I ain't have a dime on me. Have you ever been so f***ed up, you just get down on your knees?
That is Friday with 2 Y's called Empty Stomach. And that's who's got next tonight. Listen, tomorrow's about to be straight fire. You know why? If you are in LA, of course, if you have time, of course, 10:30 a.m. This is so awesome. Tupac Shakur will be honored posthumously with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That is amazing. I truly wish that he was able to receive his flowers while he was here. And to a certain degree, he was. To a certain degree, he did. He did get his flowers. But something like this is just incredible. So that's happening tomorrow. And the MC for that great event is going to be none other than Big Boy. And there's some guest speakers. There's director Alan Hughes, Tupac's sister, Set Shakur, Jamal Joseph. It's just going to be awesome. And y'all already know how it is. Someone who's getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, they have all of their close people, close friends and family come out. So there were so many people who were connected to Tupac, who I'm sure will be out there showing some love as well. So that's happening at 6212 Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood, again at 10:30 a.m. Ooh, something that I don't want to miss for sure. What a day. What a day. It's been a great show. I appreciate all of you tuning in and chiming in. Y'all can call. I've given you the community inside of YouTube, and I love the way y'all be going off and engaging with everybody. But y'all got so much to say inside that YouTube chat, but none of y'all want to call. So feel free to do that always. 1-800-920-1580. But you can do it tomorrow, or you can do that coming up next, because Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, is coming up. And of course, you do not want to touch that dial, because he's got another hot like lava, hot like fire show for you tonight. The topic is the journal/diary as a lie vault. How honest should you be writing in your diary or journal? Always great topics with Zoe Williams. You all, I've had a fantastic time with you. Thank you so much for all the comments and the love. Thank you to Jill Monroe. I am your host, Robin Ayers. And remember today and every day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network.